Okay, this is historical committee. Monday, March 10th, not March 10th. April, excuse me, I'm reading off of this. April 7th. It's been a long day for you. I bought a new car today and I had to go down all over. It's been crazy for me, so
It's okay.
I'll get it together.
We all have
But
that. I was just gonna say, we're all gonna be like that today.
yes, and we have Mark Franken, we have Aaron. Aaron, what's your married? I know it's Fraser.
Fraser. My married name is Villanueva.
Well, okay, very good. And myself. Let's start off with you. I guess we're gonna start off with. I'm gonna let Lee go ahead here, but ahead of you, so. Lee has sent me. Well, they're not aware of this, Lee, so. It's to do, I'll let you explain it, but it's to do with
Sure.
this. You can pass it around. They only got 2 copies. One's gotta be mailed out, so I don't wanna get messed up.
Okay, I took a little bit of time. Okay, many hours. Updating the building B inventory form for the Moore House at. Well, I'm going to now say 74 through 88 College Highway, along with the cigar factory. It needed to be updated because some of the information was either sadly lacking or was out of date. And you'll see that this is a far cry more than the 2 pages that had previously been submitted by the commission.
What are is it the more stricter regulations to?
No. I submitted a robust package because I had more information than when I did the initial inventory of that house in 1988. 1990. I've done it, I've redone it a couple of times, but very early on. So you'll see that not only the date, but also the acreage. There's 2 buildings on that site instead of just 1. So you have both the Moore House, which is state inventory SOU 0.26, plus the cigar factory, which is SOU 0.19. And they've been combined onto this form. Now, one of our goals for the Historical Society is to get this, the museums on the National Register of Historic Places. And so the Mass Historical Commission wanted an updated inventory form. So here is the updated inventory form.
Okay.
Also, the last 2 pages you'll see are the National Register of Historic Places criteria statement form, which I filled out and appended with the building B inventory form. And they will review that. So basically, they're going to take this, they're going to make multiple copies. One set is going to go to the survey director for the state, who just keeps on top of the ongoing and changing inventory of historic buildings and sites in the state. And then another copy will go to Ben Hale, who's the director of the National Register program. And he will, provided you put in a request per the email that I sent you and Mark for a determination of eligibility for National Register.
I don't see why not.
Oh, there's no
I don't
doubt
see how he
that
could turn it down.
he cannot turn it down.
No.
That they will allow the submission of an application. I'm asking also that the Historical Society be allowed to do the submission, because probably you don't have the experience or knowledge about the application or the procedures. And I have, at least if I speak with their staff and get the necessary equipment and information, I'll be able to complete it. So I'm asking that the Historical Society be allowed to complete that application. Once it's on the National Register, and it takes several years typically to get that done. One of the pluses is it is protected through comment from any federally funded or federally licensed projects. And of course, that includes all federal or state funded highway widening projects. And obviously, that house is pretty close to, to 202 and 10.
Mhm.
And the other thing is, a lot of grants, whether you're talking being available through the Mass Historical Commission or through any number of other entities, require listing on the National Register as a minimum threshold for being allowed to apply for those funds. So we want to broaden our base as to what funds we can apply for. If I was a private homeowner, being on the National Register probably wouldn't open up more than a handful across the country grants. But there are more because we're a nonprofit. So we're eligible to apply for a number of different funding options. So that's it in a nutshell. If you have questions, I don't know whether you've looked at the form at all, but
No, we just got it. We just got it.
I mean, if you want to look at it, review it. I mean, you can borrow this copy, Mark.
Right.
So at least there's 3 copies here, and there's 3 commission members here that I see.
The other thing, and I'm not gonna change the subject so much, but because we got listeners. Spina here, they have sent a request to us as the Historical Commission.
Yeah,
I think it more fits your group than it fits ours. Because your knowledge and all the experience you guys have.
I don't know what this is the master plan. Well, you are the town board in charge of historic preservation for the town of Southwick. So it's your responsibility to definitely do number 1, definitely do number 2, number 3. Number 4. Number 5, if you're going to. Number 6, a little bit less so. Number 7, what's happening in Southwick Page? That could be
I
either.
don't know.
Broaden the knowledge of American Indians in Southwick. Yeah. Very, very little.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very little knowledge, you mean, or very, very?
Very,
Very little knowledge and very little published information.
yeah,
I haven't seen much of anything with Indians.
I went to Pat's
What's that?
talk. Pat Orion did a talk about it. Was it last year or the year before at the library?
Okay, Pat didn't do it. It was Joe Carvalho III.
Oh, Pat organized it. I'm sorry,
yeah.
yes.
Um,
It was,
Yeah.
it was really interesting, but it's very limited. Like,
they're very,
Yeah.
very limited.
yeah,
And, I know that the term Congamuck Indians, the combination of the two, I don't find any of that until like the 1920s or 30s.
right.
So there really isn't much, much of a reference to any tribe.
Which I always found very hard to believe, because you'd think this would be a wonderful area with the lakes. And it just being not such tough land to,
I think, gut impression. With Westfield, just north of us,
yeah,
they had not only ponds, they had the Westfield River, they had the Little River. They had, nice alluvial soil, so if you wanted to do some agricultural planting,
mhm,
you know, it was better soil than the sand that's on the eastern half of Southwick.
Okay,
So, you know, I think that explains it in a nutshell.
makes sense.
Should we mark it right now so we can just pass down to you after the meeting? Cause I know you wanna take them, right?
I don't
To
need
the
anything
parents.
like today necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll necessarily getting me to my start spiel here. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm just here because for one thing, you know, I'm the master plan implementation committee has kind of assigned a member of that committee to each of the individual boards and whatnot, the lead actors for various actions, just to be kind of a liaison to help you guys out. To help coordinate, you know, you guys are the lead actors on these 8 or so you're here, you're support actors for a bunch of other ones. I think there's probably support actors even on your 8. My purpose is really to help you guys coordinate with those other support actor type
Okay.
folks, get, you know, they're not answering your phone calls, help out with that kind of thing. One of the first things though we are trying to do in the relatively near term here is for you folks to take a look at these and say, here's what we think the priorities for these should be. Number one, actually even a step before that, maybe even of these 8. We believe that we truly are the lead actor on these, or maybe this is one that should be handled more appropriately by some other board or committee. And if you feel that the Historical Society or somebody else's that's not listed there would be helpful to you, by all means, feel free to say, hey, you know, we'd really like to list to help about whomever. There's no, just because their name's not on that piece of paper doesn't mean that they can't get it.
Because on my other board, it was just easier for all of us, like, to decide and, just, you know, fill it out. Cause when it's like everybody takes it home, they get, you know,
Well, this is the first time we're seeing
Right.
this, so
yeah.
I did send them, you guys emails on it. Yes.
I
I
must
did.
not be on that email list, cause I
No,
check my
you are,
spam
you are.
folder all the time. Is it coming directly from the same one that? I get Julie's all
No,
the
it would
time.
be from me. I forwarded
Right.
I forwarded to you, Mark and Richard.
Well, certainly your responsibility, you know, technically, um, would be the second one, develop townwide preservation plan. As far as, you know, organizing oral history project, you can do that, or you can ask the Historical Society or someone else even to organize that. Actually, you know, Joe Didi and Jim Putnam had been putting together, you know, quite a who's who of oral histories.
The best one is Mr. Hazeltine.
Okay,
That's when he puts it on Facebook all the time.
Mhm.
He's got a lot more than I've ever, I mean, I got a presentation on PowerPoint of a lot of pictures and everything
yeah,
that I put together and everything, but he has a lot of stuff
yeah.
that he puts on Facebook, the time machine. You're hesitating on that.
I don't go on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
He has a website also and a YouTube.
We could take, you know, we could use him and get stuff more.
Yeah, so I mean, there's
We
one,
can work with him.
as far as priorities.
Well, they gave us priorities here. Medium, long, that, I just,
Those are timeframes, not necessarily.
I know, it's
Exactly,
just,
yeah.
It's a-
I would say your first priority would be to, update the inventory.
that we have here.
Yes,
We went through that a year ago.
Are you talking about, when you say inventory, are you talking about buildings in town or are you talking about?
in the inventory of historic buildings in town.
Well, other than probably what you did back in the day? I mean, we've,
Well, you know, Barbara McEwen, when she was chair,
Yeah.
she hired a group of, you know, a professional who had
We don't have a budget for that.
college students.
Yeah.
You know, okay, to go over that. But, you know, if the commission wanted to to have a work meeting and go through it, I would be willing to sit in on it and say, that building's burned down. That one's been
Do
gutted.
you have a list?
I've updated a list and actually sent it to the, I think Chris Pratt and, several others over the years.
I don't think we.
Well,
Well,
there's
the only
that,
thing we
there's-
got is that
there's-
brochure. Sure you had
Brochure
made
that you
up.
put together, whoever put that brochure together
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
But I just think, when
Yeah.
you and I think I asked you this a long time ago, so I remember your answer, but. And it's almost like 20 Depot Street. They
Yeah,
have red shutters on the house now.
yeah,
Now, but like, as you told me back in the time, whatever that was, it's like, well, we can't go up and go. Those red shutters should be black or green or whatever color they're supposed to be. And it's just like this house down the street here that was just sold. That they painted over and they put new windows in and God only knows what else. Did you think that's the oldest house in town?
no, you're talking about the Dr. Levi Humphrey house that they painted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
okay.
just saying, but I mean, no one came into this commission and said, hey, this is what we plan.
There's no building
there's-
in town that is in a chapter 40C historic district that the Historic District Commission has any oversight over.
Right, so we're
So
helpless, right?
you
It's pretty
have,
much, it's pretty much the cat is out of the bag dealing that, because if you go to Suffield, look what Suffield has done with theirs. With all their old homes on 75 there, or whatever it is. They had it years ago, we got dealerships in the middle of town, which is ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we never planned on saving a lot of these places,
I mean, you've got, that I'm aware of, there's at least 4 vacant houses that right now that are on, the mattress list that, their days are numbered unless something happens.
Yeah, but that'll involve someone having to buy them and restore them, and we don't have control over that.
You don't have control. The only thing you have control over is how you try to promote and
Yeah,
educate the public. And, it takes a lot of time to, you might say, develop, an educational program,
Mhm. What house, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of how many, where are these vacant houses that you're talking about?
Hillside. And of course, one on Depot Street that's going to probably get a.
Oh,
flood.
Oh, Malone's place,
Yeah,
that's gonna
That
come
one.
down, that's beyond repair, unfortunately.
well, it is only if you say it is.
Right, yeah, but
I know, but if you look from the outside, it's falling apart.
And
You're
then
right,
you've
that
got
house.
2 more on College Highway.
Trying to think, are we down by the state line?
In the vicinity of,
Oh, that. I mean, the house that looks like they tried to work on their, where Victor lives off of. It's got scaffolding up, but it's been there for years.
no, that's still occupied.
Gotta walk through.
Which one's on the
scaffold to get
highway
to
you're
it.
talking about?
Get in there.
Planson
Oh, yes, right, yeah.
and the old Haas house.
Oh, okay, across the street,
Oh,
under the
yeah.
gray. What?
Or that was actually the Calvin Miller house.
What year Planson's was built?
1840s, 50s.
I thought the Haas house is being rented. They got rentals in there. In the back.
I don't believe that I've seen any cars or vehicles for months there since it was bought over a year ago by another party.
Okay.
And Planson's house must still be owned by Planson's because. I haven't seen it for sale sign.
The father passed away
Right.
last year
Mm-hmm.
and I think the son owns it.
Okay,
Where is that now? Which house is that?
next to Tommy Cowie's,
It'd be like,
across from where.
Oh, yes, yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Yeah, he just passed, yeah, you're right, he just passed a year or so ago.
Yeah.
It's all getting all overgrown now.
No, it's just there.
I know, it's just,
But like you said, they go, other than educating people, but then they can just look at you and they go, well, you know what, that's nice, thank you very much for your information, but
That's true.
that's very,
You know, the only thing you can do that's going to control what does or doesn't happen is if you have a historic preservation restriction on the property and either the historical commission or another preservation organization has, you know, holds the restriction of record. Very much like a conservation restriction on land. And the other avenue would be if it was in a Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40C Historic District. And the only place that's been recommended back in December 1974 by Arnold Burke of the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission was Southwick Center. And I don't,
changed a lot.
and I'm not sure that's going to happen from both, you know, an owner perspective. And number two, almost every single building, almost, has aluminum siding, vinyl siding, asbestos siding, you know. And so it doesn't have the integrity and cohesiveness that you really like to have to put in place a Chapter 40C historic district.
so can you do that on a private residence?
Do what on a private residence?
Well, and I'm just thinking,
Well,
I mean, those houses, like, this one on the left right over here,
Yeah.
Lanson's and the Haas. They're not like grouped together, they're not in one close area to each other.
No,
all
they're not.
Spread out. So I'm just
They're-
saying, how do you can't really declare,
there are mechanisms that you can do that. You would have to, of course, get homeowner permission to do
Yeah.
that at this point.
It's like talking about the Haas house, because I've been in there over the years as a
Yeah.
police officer and, again, because the years of neglect is just. I mean, that owner is to try to restore that, it'd be costly, it just, because from what I can see, it's quite the mess.
Yeah, well, I haven't been in it.
Yeah,
And, you know, I'm not even going to say that there has to be, you know, restoration of the house per se. If you restored the front half of the house, the exterior only, I mean, that would be a phenomenal difference right there. I mean, that would just be tearing off the asphalt siding and giving it a good paint job. Really?
Right,
what would you change I guess the appearance or the whatever of the house by doing that?
Well, if you took the purple asphalt siding off and,
I'm just saying, that's to me, but that's, if I'm just from a totally from
what
a
you
person
replace it
driving,
with, Mark, you're saying?
I'm just
It would be
saying, from a
restrictions of what you
totally-
Replace it with the,
from a totally aesthetic point of view.
right,
right,
That I've driven by that house, I don't know how many times over the last however many years, and it's like, if I change that house, that would be kind of like not preserving the
that would be preserving the historic,
house.
the historic character of the house.
If
The
you-
asphalt siding is not,
no.
is not
that's-
typically deemed historic.
No, no, that was probably done in the 40s, 50s.
Right.
And the house was probably built, when did you say?
That one was probably built, my guess is 1830s or 40s,
Okay.
and
Just have the ice cream shop, the little store on the side.
So,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, working tobacco, we used to go over to get ice cream during the summer.
Okay,
What do we have for tools or at our discretion to even compile a list?
well, you already have, you know, the inventory. And I know that you have it in your files here. And,
All the deeds, or what do we?
no,
have?
they're not
What's
deeds,
that?
they're just, they're, you
So,
know, Massachusetts Historical Commission inventory B forms. That's what they are. And, you know, I would go through them and first, there should be a file folder for every single building. Second, they should be arranged by street alphabetically, and then they should be arranged by house number. So that way there, if someone says, what do you have on 20 Depot Street? You can go to the Depot Street, 20, pick out the file and say, we have this. And you can put all your information, anything else that you gather on the property in that file. Whether it was additional deeds, maps, plans, surveys, photos,
but we have that in the files.
you have that in your files,
I don't.
how it's arranged.
I don't remember seeing that when we went through. We went
Well,
through
there
all
was
of
there were those lock files that I never got into because they were locked, so I don't know.
all the cat, oh,
Those
okay.
cabinets that were locked. And I don't even remember.
Because we gave stuff to the historical society too.
Yeah, no,
You
that-
you
not
gave us,
that.
you know, this much out of, you know,
Nothing that was, nothing like.
right.
But
We'll have to
we'd
go
have to
through
look
and
through
find
it
it. Okay.
and see what's over
I mean, if you want me to, you know, I'm willing to spend time with you. You know, outside of a commission meeting
there. Yep,
to work on that. But, you know. The 6 to 7 is not the time to do it.
I'll have to look through there and see what is in there and what. I'm gonna guess all that stuff came out of the room already.
I think everything's down here. I think they took everything out of that
Yeah.
conference one. I think it's all
So
down here
some,
now. I
whatever
think all our
was
stuff is
filed,
down here.
it's still in one of these somewhere.
It
Maybe,
should be.
Do we need the keys for that?
What's
Do we
that?
need the keys for the cabinets?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it was up in that first conference room, number one, and. And we kept they brought some of it down here and we kept telling them, Dave there to say, hey, we need the rest of it down here. And I think was what, our last session or last two sessions, they finally got it all down here. Cause I talked to Russ Anderson, I said, we need to get the rest of it down here, and he got it down here, so. So we gotta go back in those files and go through it again.
Of course, if I looked at it, I'd probably be able to say, you're missing A, B, and C.
Right, I like doing that kind of stuff, that's right up my alley, I just need to know where to. What we have,
So we'll have to come in
yeah,
during the day or whatever, I mean, are you working?
I am, I have I have like a million side hustles. But yes, Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm usually flexible if I'm not subbing.
We'll have to figure it.
well, we'll
out.
just go, before we leave, we'll see if they're open first of all, we're locked, and unlocked.
Well, you do have the keys to them.
Well, that was the problem upstairs was, I don't know when, I'm sure even when you were here, there was those cabinets that we couldn't get into because. I thought there was at least one of them, I'm gonna hope that,
Well, there were, I think, 2 sets of keys. To get you into the building, into that room, and into the locked cabinets.
Julie's got our keys,
Yes, I do have it.
yeah, to get the mail and everything, so it should be on there.
Okay, so
There's only 2 keys on that.
there's only 2 keys.
It's the mail and the main door.
well, if we can't get in them, we will figure out a way to get in for them.
Yeah, cause
If we have to get,
Okay.
it
Well,
looks
there's only
like
2 keys.
just getting that under control will make these other things a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm,
I mean, you can't do anything unless you know what you have.
Right.
Right. True,
Thank you.
Am I out of the hot seat?
you're out of the hot seat.
so, all right,
For
so
now.
all you needed from us tonight was what?
We gotta take care of this, we gotta mail this
Well, I'm just
out,
saying, but we're.
we gotta mail this out for them.
I want you to mail that and put in a request for a determination of eligibility.
Okay, so, but is there something, application you said you would like to fill out, or is that gonna come back when after that gets sent in?
They must send us something after we
They're
send
either going to send it to you or they're going to send it, you know,
it to you.
to me. I don't
Yeah.
know who.
More likely to you because you're already doing that letter and everything, more likely.
So I'll follow up with a letter. I'll
So
get
we
it
gotta-
out this
Can we
week.
get this mailed
So
out?
there's,
Okay,
so you
And the
don't
address is
write
right
anything to check off any boxes on that
Okay.
okay.
piece of paper?
Anything
Or
else?
no,
That
we-
form
in a-
is
one of
all
those-
done.
No, so
Bigger
we don't have to
envelopes.
sign
That's the
anything?
only thing you need
Nope.
to.
What's that?
All right,
That's
that's
the only
just wanna
thing
make
that needs
sure
to be in
before it
envelope.
goes somewhere and
yeah.
then all of a sudden it has to come back.
What I would do is if you can,
Yeah, your
make a copy
email,
for us, so we have a, some
you know,
copy.
outline some of the
Do we
things.
keep
Yeah,
that
okay,
one?
I'm just like, I said,
Well, we
I
got,
was like,
we got the
is
one.
there anything else that needs to be done on that before it
Yeah, we
goes
have
anywhere?
that. Yeah, one of us,
Because
we got
then
another.
it leaves and then it's like,
She's
oh,
got, Aaron's got
you were
it.
supposed to
Yeah,
do
'cause
what?
we just.
And then
Yeah,
it's gotta
we
come
got it.
back and then it's so, I'm just
Do you still? need a
double and
copy?
triple checking.
No, we'll have that. I forgot, we got that other one,
Okay,
but I want you to hold on to that one.
okay.
He has a copy too.
Oh, here.
I don't
You want
know.
this copy or?
So Aaron,
You might need that one.
Aaron, let us know when you think you can get down here and I'll try to work around my schedule
Okay,
to come and help, and Mark will work around his schedule to come down and help. And we'll start tearing apart the cabinets to find stuff.
We gotta move quick, it's 20 of 7.
I know,
We're gonna get,
just so you know,
display.
this came in our mail too. And it's a handle with certified mail, I guess. It's basically saying that they're extending. What is it, Sam West Road, where it's gonna meet out to Hudson Drive. And
Oh, that's
complete it
interesting,
and
'cause
so
that
they're going forward with
originally-
that. What's
that
that?
was originally connected, when I look at
Well,
old
it-
maps.
It was, but not, a
Yeah,
dirt road.
no, yeah.
Yeah, it was,
it's
'cause
not
it
a
used-
road
Used to
road,
be
but-
the, not the, for the dump, but it was for,
Dorian.
brush dump. It was a
What?
brush dump down there.
I'm talking about like on the old maps.
Yeah, you can get the Dorians from Feeding Hills.
Yes, yeah. Well, they're trying to say that to relieve the traffic, whatever, so people can come in that way instead of through the center and all that, come in the back way. And I don't know if the neighbors would be thrilled on Sam West Road, but,
Mm.
it's just, it's life.
so what are they, is that just an alert for us or do we have to do anything?
No,
with
they,
it?
it's a process they have to do. They have to send it out. I'm sure they sent it out to other committees too.
Okay.
It's nothing
We can't say, you're not gonna do that.
historical to me.
Information, right?
Good boss you.
Do you just keep it in the.
Or
Yeah,
there's no historic building they're demolishing to get the road,
Right.
in there, right?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Now, do you have a copy of these that we have?
I'll grab the.
And well, all I can say, what's your first name?
Dave,
Dave,
Yeah.
that we'll see what we can do about working on that, to
yeah, no,
see what we can do.
that's fantastic.
Okay.
It sounds like to a certain extent, you've almost faulted on your top priority, which was back in the files.
Yeah.
Which I think makes a lot of sense.
Aaron brought it down.
You know. and
I've been chomping at the bit to do that.
And as for the other items, for the other support ones, I think those are just for your information. I wouldn't get.
Okay.
About those. The one of the ones where you guys are the leads. You know, one thing we would like to see is just your idea of, you know, a priority ranking of the rest. Norm Cheever has a system where if you each individually set it in your priorities, he'll kind of send back, he'll do some math, send it back to you guys and say, hey, here's what you collectively think if you take everybody's vote into consideration. Or you can just meet amongst yourselves, decide kind of like what you've done already.
Yeah.
You know what number one is, if you want to decide what the rankings are, which ones maybe get put off a little bit, that's fine. And then otherwise, the only other thing I have to say really is please feel free to reach out to me if you're going through, you're thinking you need support to do something, even if something as simple as finding the tweets.
Well, I think we're gonna have to reach out to Mr. Hamburg,
Yeah, I'll try to.
whether he likes it or not.
It could definitely be.
There's a saying, you can run, but you can't hide.
Right. No, he can't run.
Just, well,
He can't run.
I
Well-
cannot run and I'm too big to hide.
I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Oh, there was one other thing I was gonna talk about, and I now forgot.
Do you wanna approve the
Um,
minutes or you wanna do it?
What's that?
Approving the minutes. Do you wanna do that next?
Get, everybody got the minutes?
Everybody had it in the file.
Let's just go over those quickly and get those things, 'cause we got a little off track.
Okay.
Just well, did you,
Well-
that, oh, go ahead, I don't wanna, I can ask it whenever, but go ahead, you're gonna say
The
something.
question I have is for you.
Well,
Did they approve paying that, making that
that's what I was
payment?
gonna ask.
I don't have the invoice.
I gave the invoice to,
You're in listing?
For the picture.
no, I gave it, I turned it into the accountant's
Oh,
office.
no, I have to do the.
No, but then they said that you need to put a cover letter, then they told
That
me
envelope.
that they put it in inter-office mail,
Yes,
because you were on vacation.
it's that yellow envelope, I think it's in there.
All right,
empty.
that's,
It's empty?
No, there's something there.
yeah, that's the invoice.
That's where it's hiding.
I looked at the top, it showed empty.
Is that you were on vacation that week, and I just handed it into the office, and I said, no, you gotta, so she put it in my address, that's it. So,
I'll take care of it.
all right, so now my question will be, does that get mailed to that business, or does that get given to me and you, and then you hand it to me and I bring it, how do they do that?
This invoice, supposed to write, so town of South Lake. So, not South, Lake, that's sort of permission, they need the details, I can let you know.
Oh, okay,
We need to be like really specific, or they're not gonna get paid
all right, so tell me how specifically it will be then when you would,
after the meeting.
yeah.
Okay, while we're on it, any discussion about the minutes?
No.
We're all set with Aaron? Mark?
Nope.
All right,
Nothing.
all in favor of approving them? Aye,
Aye.
okay, against, no, because we don't have any more people here. So that is all set. Someone want to make a motion to, unless someone's got further discussion here.
Motion to adjourn. Oh.
Point of order,
Oh,
Yes, go ahead.
does the historical commission have a representative to the community presentation?
We will. We're lining that up now. We're lining up. We do have someone that wants to be part of the historical society. She
Not
wants to
part of
attend some,
it, but I'll kind of,
attend some of the meetings.
I want to attend some of the meetings so I can work on projects like we just heard.
I do have someone that might be
Yes, I-
interested and they may want to get on it. So, but I'm not saying it until we'll see if it gets done.
Uh-huh.
I've been working on that, so.
When does the historical society meet?
We will be meeting next April third, fourth Thursday in April.
Okay. Where do you meet?
That will be a dinner meeting if you wish to attend the dinner.
A fancy one.
it's not like a dinner that was prepared 200 years ago, and you're taking it out of the freezer, right?
No mutton, yeah.
You never know.
So that would be April 24th, is that correct?
That sounds about right.
Okay.
And that will be at the.
And Erin's working on the project where, which she does metal detecting, and she's got a friend that does it with her too. And we did one of the display cases, they had to take out the clothing next to us for the anniversary thing there, so, it's empty and she's got more stuff she's gonna be putting in there with her friend. We're gonna put some more pictures in there. So, we're working on that, so.
Okay, and I will figure out how I can get to that.
All right, we better get out of the way.
Okay, let's
Well, we
do it
we
again.
adjourned, right?
What's that?
A motion to adjourn.
Yes, I,
Motion to adjourn.
motion. What
All right,
does
you
it
make
have
the
to say?
motion, I'll second.
No point of order.